guys, welcome back. So in a video that I posted recently, it was the PhameXpo video, I had this look in it and I got a lot of comments and a lot of requests asking to do a tutorial on that look, so that is exactly what I have for you today. The look was initially inspired by the lipstick color. It is something that I got at PhameXpo, so if you want to see what this lipstick color is, definitely keep watching. But overall, I think it's a fairly easy look to achieve, and there's not that many eyeshadows used, even though it kind of looks like there are. It's a little bit different than I normally would do. There's no eyeliner, and it's a lot more cool tone than I usually do. Usually I stick to the warm colors because that's what I feel comfortable with, but I decided to try this out when I did that PhameXpo video, and I really loved how it came out, and it sounds like you guys did as well. So if you want to see how I created this look, then please just keep watching. So before I started filming, I just went and moisturized my face and put on some lip balm. And now I'm just going in with the Makeup Forever HD foundation on a BH Cosmetics foundation brush. And I'm just placing this all over my face. This is not the newest formula, but I still really love it. It is a light to medium coverage, and I really love this for the summer months because it's not too full of a coverage and it's very lightweight on the skin. So I'm just buffing this all into my skin, really just to even out these skin tones. And now I'm going in with the LA Girl Pro Conceal Concealer just because I needed to cover up those dark circles that I had. I do have a full in-depth video about that, so I will place that in the description box below if you're interested. But now I'm just going to go in with the damp beauty blender and just really blend out that orange shade. I know it looks a little crazy, but don't worry, we'll be concealing it even more with a real colored concealer. Now we're just really combating that color that was there before. Yikes. But now we're ready to move on and conceal the orange. So I'm going in with this Naked Skin Urban Decay Concealer. I've really been loving this lately. And I'm just placing this all under my under eye area and then anywhere else that I want to highlight. So I'm going to be putting it down the bridge of my nose, a little bit on the Cupid's bow, the sides of my nose, and really everywhere just in the T-zone, just to really brighten up the center of my face. And now I'm going back in with the Beauty Blender, just blending out all the concealer that I just put on. I will say I love the Beauty Blender, but sometimes I feel like it takes up a little bit too much product. It blends it out nicely, but sometimes just takes up too much. So I do end up going back in with the concealer just under the eyes because I felt like the coverage went away a little bit when I used the Beauty Blender. So here I am just going back in and doing just a little bit more concealer just in the under eye area, and I'll just be buffing it out with a different tool. This is just an eyeshadow brush actually, and I'm just buffing in that concealer, just blending it out a little bit more, just as you can see the product now is staying there as opposed to really being picked up in that sponge. I'm actually going to be setting all this concealer with a translucent powder, and I'm going to be using the baking or cooking technique. I know I talked about it in my last video, but I haven't actually done it on camera. And this is my favorite powder to use. This is the Mercier translucent powder. I love using this method. I think it looks so beautiful, and let me know if you want me to do a full video on it. Basically what you're doing is I take this beauty blender and I dip it into the translucent powder and I just pack it on to anywhere that I highlighted prior to this. And we're just going to basically let it sit there and cook or bake while we're doing other parts of our makeup, and it really helps to set that makeup and helps to decrease any lines that could be there. It is an amazing technique, so let me know if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about it. Now we're going to go ahead and contour with some cooler shades using these two from the Kat Von D contour kit. And the NARS Ita Brush, I'm just going to take the combination of these two shades here and just really go ahead and contour the hollows of my cheekbones. I'm also going to take this color up on the center of my forehead and on the sides of my forehead and really just give my face a little bit more dimension. We're not going to be bronzing with any warm shades today because this whole look I want to keep fairly cool toned. And I'm also going to go ahead in here and just contour my nose just a little bit, again, just to give it a little bit more dimension. Next, I'm going in with this MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot in Soft Ochre, and this is just an eyeshadow base. I'm just using my finger to apply it all over my lid and a little bit above my lid on the crease area. The powder has been sitting for about 5-10 minutes. I'm going to go in with a brush with no additional product and just lightly dust it off now that it has set, and I just love the finish that this gives after you do this technique. And now we're going to move to the eyes. So we're first going in with this shade from Makeup Geek. This is in the shade Unexpected, and I'm just taking this on a large fluffy eyeshadow brush and I'm just buffing this into the crease area as the transition shade. As you can see, I'm going from inner to outer corner and really just blending and blending and blending. As you can see, most of the shades, or actually all the eyeshadow shades that we use today, are going to be from Makeup Geek as well. Next, I'm going in with Cupcake from Makeup Geek, and this is on a smaller blending brush. And I'm just placing that color a little bit below where we put the Unexpected, so not quite all the way on the lid, but just right below into the area where we put the Unexpected. And now I'm going in with a foiled shadow from Makeup Geek. This is in the shade Starry Eyed. These shadows are so amazing, you guys. I highly recommend them. And you don't even need to use any tools. I think they best apply with your finger. So I'm just taking it, as you can see, on my finger and placing that color only on the center of the lid. That's super important because this is the only place that we want that foiled shadow to be. And now I'm going back in with the Unexpected shade in a smaller shader brush. And I'm just going to pack on that color on the inner and outer corner on the outsides of the foiled shadow just to really darken it up. So I'll do the same on both eyes, and we're actually going to go in and make it a little bit darker after this. So here we go with the shade Corrupt from Makeup Geek. This is a matte black shadow. You don't want to use too much product because this is super pigmented, so I topped it off, as you can see, any excess. And I'm just really buffing that into the outer V of the eye area. Just really blending it out, and don't worry if it looks kind of harsh right now. We're going to end up blending it all out throughout the whole process anyways. And then with no additional product, just from what I have on the brush already, I'm going to actually just brush right across the top there just so that the black looks a little bit more connected from the inner to outer corner. And don't worry if it looks a little bit harsh right now and the lines aren't exactly blended out, because we're going to go back in right after this and blend it all out, and we'll just keep blending out throughout the whole time. So let's go back in with that Unexpected shade in a large shader brush and really, again, just blending it out over all the colors that we've done just so it looks a little bit more blended, a little bit more seamless. Next, I'm going to put a quick coat of mascara on. This is the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. I'm just putting a quick coat on because I'm going to be putting on falsies after this, but I'm going to let it dry first and then we'll come back to it afterwards. So going in with this blush from Makeup Geek, this is in the shade Secret Admirer. It is a very purple, cool toned blush. And I'm also going to put on a little bit of the eyeshadow, actually, the Unexpected, just because I thought it went really well with the whole look. Going in with the Loumanizer from the Balm, we're going to go ahead and highlight the face. So I'm just going to go ahead and highlight here in the high points of the cheeks. I'm going to put a little bit on my Cupid's bow and a little bit on my nose as well. And then I'm just going to go in with an e.l.f. concealer brush and actually just put a little bit more of this highlighter on just because I love it. We're going to go back to the false lashes now. These are my favorite. These are the Ardell Glamour Whispies. And I'm using the House of Lashes glue as well as the Socialized lash tweezers. I think it's really helpful to use these tweezers to put on the lashes. And I also think that these lashes, this particular style, is very easy to use. So I would highly recommend them for beginners. And just this whole combination of the glue, these tweezers, and the lashes makes it very easy to apply. Ugh, I just love these lashes. They are just so gorgeous and semi-natural. So let's move on to the lower lash line. So we're going to combine those two colors that we used earlier, the Unexpected and the Cupcake. And I'm just going to be buffing this into the lower lash line, just from the inner to outer corner and connecting it to that shaded area that we did on the upper lid. So just back and forth, really just buffing out that color to the desired smokiness that you like. And I wanted to go a little bit darker in that outer V, so I'm going back in with that shade Corrupt from Makeup Geek and just using a little bit of product, just really putting that on the outer corner of the eye just to make it a little bit cohesive with the top lid as well. Going back in with the highlighter from the Balm, I'm just going to highlight my brow bone. And I think that this step is really important for this look because I think it does really help to bring it all together, especially because we're using such darker colors on the upper lid. And now I'm just buffing out one more time with no additional product the lines of the shadows. Doing a quick coat of mascara on the bottom lashes. And then I'm going to move to the lips. So this is from Melt Cosmetics. This is in the shade Laced. This is from their Nudes collection that isn't out yet, but it should be out anytime soon, and I absolutely love this shade. And again, this was the inspiration for the whole look, so I hope that you really love how this look came out. I really like it. I like this cool tone. It's very different for me, so subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you so much for watching, you guys. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!